Well, ladies and gentlemen, the start of another MLS season has gone underway, and your Philadelphia Union completed their first game of this season, and as exciting as it was, the season has arrived. It did not end in the way we all thought it would. But don't worry, guys, because we are going to discuss and vent everything that went down Saturday night down in Dallas here on DOOP by the River. But don't go anywhere, guys, because you don't want to miss this. Let's get this started, guys, shall we? Let's do it. Hey, done! And that is right. Welcome, everyone, to DOOP by the River, the show where we follow everything Philadelphia Union with me, El Parcero Philly. And DOOP by the River is, of course, one of your sources at PSN for all things Philadelphia Union. But if you're looking for more than just the Philadelphia Union, looking for all of your Philly sports needs, head on over to Philly Sports Network to get all of that news. And thanks again, PSN, for supporting this channel and this Parcero, quite honestly. And of course, guys, do not forget to like this video, subscribe to this channel, hit the bell button for notifications, as well as sharing this video and this channel to help me grow. But let's get into this, guys. Philadelphia Union facing off against FC Dallas. This is the first match review of the season for DOOP by the River. And at PSA, guys, we want to do something a little different. We want to give you guys we want to get you guys hooked up with all the different ways of trying to, keep up with your Philadelphia Union. So we're going to continue trying to make of course, our match recap articles, which Tim Lovinguth made this week. Great job, Tim, on his article as far as the recap of the FC Dallas match. That is up on PSN, and of course, I'll put the link in the descriptions below. Of course, I will continue making DOOP by the River videos. Of course, especially the match reviews, the match recaps, match reactions, if you would say. We will continue doing that for you as well. And of course, the DOOP by the River pod will be recorded once a week, so you guys can get that on your ears as well. So we're taking care of all the different levels of multimedia, so you guys can stay up to date on what's going on with the Philadelphia Union. But let's get to this match here. So of course, going into this match, it's the first match for both of these squads. FC Dallas and the Philadelphia Union haven't really played much monumental football or soccer per se coming up to this match. But these were still two teams that were, still pretty similar. You still got a lot of young talent on both sides, like Paxton Pomykal, Brandon Aronson, Jesus Ferreira, Mark McKenzie. And then, of course, you got good veteran players like Alejandro Bedoya, Jabilko, Andrazik, Santos on this pitch as well. So, and they're both teams that trying to develop through the youth system, and of course getting some veteran weapons that help with this build out the teams as well. Both teams, although don't have a superstar player, still play very tough, and had a pretty good showcasing in the playoffs last season. Now, as far as the lineups go for the Philadelphia Union, Jim Curtin's still stuck with the 4-4-2 diamond, like we have said countlessly. On DOOP by the River, the 4-4-2 diamond is going to be the base formation for this Philadelphia Union squad. They're going to stick with that. Of course, if it's not working, you're going to see Jim Curtin make adjustments and change the shape of the formation. In this match, what you saw was Jim Curtin starting with the 4-4-2 diamond. They were doing a good job of building from the back and moving the ball forward, especially up top with the midfielder and the forwards. But in the second half, we saw Jim Curtin switch to what seemed to be like a 3-4-3 or a 3-5-2. We saw three natural center backs in that second half of this match here. But let's look at the lineups here. Starting in goal, no surprise, we saw Andre Blake here. Now listen, although Andre Blake allowed 2 late goals in this match here, I will say that he did a solid job here. He made a couple big saves that could have made the scoreline even worse. On both goals, honestly, listen, the defense has to do a better job of containing and making Andre Blake's job a little easier. But in all realness, we would all like to see our goalies making, absolutely breathtaking saves. And sometimes you need your goalie to make those tough saves to keep you in these matches. Both of them were tough shots to stop. In the back line, starting from left to right, of course, we saw Matt Real, Mark McKenzie, Jakob Glesnes, and Ray Gaddis. Now, Jakob Glesnes was the surprise here. We all figured that it would continue being the same to his last season, Mark McKenzie and Jack Elliott. But I guess for whatever reason, Curtin felt as if we had a better opportunity winning this match with Glesnes in instead of Jack Elliott. Of course, we all know Jack missed some time in the preseason trying to get his green card situated, and Jakob took advantage of his opportunities that he had in preseason, and he played it well enough to get the start here. But Jakob still played pretty well. He played exceptional here, and he held his own. in this match, although he did get a yellow card here. Mark McKenzie still, I believe, had a strong match as well. He hasn't lost a step. Matt Rial did his job replacing Kai Wagner. Defensively, I felt he was a little stronger. He looked a little bit better than we've seen from him. Michael Barrios was bringing it to Matt Rial, but Matt Rial held his own. I'm not gonna lie, Matt Rial held his own, and that the concern, the issue that was had with Matt is we know he can attack, but can he actually defend as a fullback in the MLS? So I think he did a solid job here. Ray Gaddis, he had a difficult time. Fafa Pico knows him very well, and Fafa was attacking at him hard all match long. He was challenging him. He was getting physical with him, and Ray had his work cut out for him in this match. Jack Elliott did come in for Matt Rial in the 90th minute, and that's when it seemed as if we were sticking to the three-back set. That was the first we saw of it. All right, in the midfield, starting from left to right, we saw Jamiro Monteiro, Warren Craval, Alejandro Bedoya, our captain, and at the tip of the diamond, we saw Brandon Aronson to start off this match. Now, if you've heard my preview podcast, I had Jamiro Monteiro at the tip of the diamond with Brandon Aronson out to the left. Jim Curtin switched it up on us. Now, I wasn't mad at this move, and I was like, okay, this is what we're going to see. I want to see how Brandon Aronson handles, being that tip of the diamond guy. It's an excruciating position to play, to say the least, especially for a young player like that. You got to defend, you got to press up high, and then also you have to come back down and help create the attack, and you have to be the distributor. At times, you got to create your shot on your own. So it's a lot of work. We've seen Brandon Aronson do it last season, but the physicality aspect of it, I felt as if he needed to improve upon coming into this season. Now, Brandon did a solid job, in my opinion. I saw a lot of harsh things said about him on the social medias about Brandon Aronson, but I saw what you really want to see from Brandon Aronson is him taking the next step of being that killer. I want Brandon to be that killer, to have that mama mentality, to say the least. He did take his shots. He was aggressive on the press as well, and he was not rust off as well. But I'm liking the development we're seeing from Brandon Aronson, especially in the first half. It really seemed to be a good chemistry going with Ray, Ali, Brandon Aronson, and Kasper Shabilko all on the right side. They were creating sparks of attack with those four players on the right-hand side of the pitch. Jamiro Monteiro had a solid match. Not as dominant as I thought he would be. I really have high hopes. I have high expectations for Jamiro Monteiro to absolutely kill it this season. Did not see that yet, but listen, everyone was really knocking off rust in this match here. In the back, the number 6 role is really what surprised us, and really shout out Matt McLean for calling this one out. Warren Craval has always proven to us he is a solid defender as a midfielder. He's tenacious in that aspect, and that's really what helps him to gain those minutes. Well, Warren got the start here as the number 6, and that kind of was a surprise to all of us. Especially myself, I expected Matić Ordović to get the nod as the starter at the number 6 role, but he wasn't even in the 18. So that's very interesting to note. I felt as if Ordović impressed during preseason, and I thought that he gained that spot as that number 6 role. It seems as if Jim Kirchin feels as if he's still not ready for early minutes with the Philadelphia Union. So put that in consideration. Martinez is still not ready either. Warren Craval, veteran player, tenacious defender, and that's why he got the nod there as the starting number 6 for the Philadelphia Union in this match. And Warren, he did his thing. He did his thing as a defender. That's really all you're going to expect. We just want to see expand on the attacking. But a solid match by Warren Craval. So on Alejandro Bedoya, man, what else can you say about Ali, man? That's my captain, first off. That is my freaking captain. Solid job, Alejandro Bedoya. He also, too, was knocking off the rust just like the rest of the Philadelphia Union. But a solid match here. In the 66th minute, it was time for Elsinho to come in in the match. He would come in for Brandon Aronson. We didn't see the Elsinho magic on this day, but don't be worried, don't be alarmed. It's still early, and we will definitely see some Elsinho fireworks this season. In the 79th minute, Anthony Fontana would come in for Warren Craval. Jim Kirchin wanted to add a little extra spark of attack, being down 1-0. Unfortunately, that wasn't enough of a spark that we needed for the attack. Up top, we saw this really hyped up tandem that up top that we had at the forward positions with Kasper Shabilko and Sergio Santos Gomes. Both those guys didn't get the ball in the back of the nets. That's the only concern here. Sergio was everywhere. Jim wants him to use his pace. You saw him out wide creating chances. You saw him in the box making runs. We just need to continue seeing that from Sergio Santos Gomes. And Kasper didn't get a really good clear shot. Him as well. Just needed to shake off the rust. He hasn't really played meaningful minutes in a long time. Remember, he missed the last couple matches at the end of last season, so he needs to get his legs back under him as well. But in this match, the first half, it was even. Both teams were creating opportunities, building from the back. They had chances, but in the final third, both teams seemed to be a little sloppy and, again, knocking off rust. And either team couldn't get a ball into the net. In the second half, it was a different story. The 61st minute is when Andrazik would hit a nice low shot. The defenders were blocking Andre Blake's vision to see the ball, and the low shot would bounce right under Andre Blake as he was diving for it, and that would find the back net to give Dallas the 1-0 lead. And the momentum absolutely shifted after that. Dallas were not going to lose this match. They wanted this match, and they were going to get these 3 points. They sealed it up in the 91st minute when Paxton Pomacall, who came into the match as a substitute, created a nice opportunity for himself and slid the ball. He lured Andre Blake out to the right-hand side of the post of the net, and Paxton would just hit a nice low ball to the other post, and it looked like it was going to be shot wide, but it found the other side of the net, and Andre Blake, not much he could do there as well. And FC Dallas would lock in the victory at that point, and they would win this match 2-0 in the opening week of the MLS. Now let's get to the narrative here that I continuously repeated here in this episode. Knocking off the rust. That is the moral of the story here in this match for both teams. Both teams really, that's what they were doing, is knocking off the rust, because both teams looked sloppy. They weren't, clearly they weren't up to the form that they were at the end of last season, and that is expected. And of course, my fellow Union fans, I love you guys, but sometimes, just like the rest of Philly sports fans, we overreact a little bit too much. This is the first match of 34 matches. We lost the first match last season as well. We lost that 3-1 as well. We lost by 2 goals. And what did we do? We bounced back after that, and we strung together a couple good months in the warmer weather days and made the playoffs, ladies and gentlemen, as a 3rd seed. So, it was crazy seeing all the overreaction on Twitter. And I get it, the performance wasn't the best, but guys, a lot of teams in the MLS had to shake off rust. And it's not like the Union got absolutely obliterated. They gave Dallas 60 good minutes. They were going toe-to-toe with a quality Western Conference squad on Saturday night. And yeah, they blew it, but you figure that they make adjustments, they're going to win these type of matches later on down the season. And even if you look at the Eastern Conference the way it is right now, look at the top teams that made the playoffs last year. The number 1 seed NYCFC, they lost to the Columbus Crew. Atlanta United, yeah, they beat Nashville, but they lost their best player for a good amount of time. My man, Josef Martinez, tore his ACL. I do hope he gets a speedy recovery, because that's definitely a blow, not just for Atlanta United, but for the MLS. But still, you got to think that Atlanta United is not going to be as strong now because they lost their best player. DC lost to Colorado. Toronto drew to San Jose. New England lost to Montreal. The Red Bull just beat the FC Cincinnati. So, the Union fans, look at me. Look at me. Take it. Breathe in. Breathe out. Relax. It's going to be okay. I promise you it is going to be okay. Now, the bad news is that the first half of the season, the first part of the season, maybe the first third of the season, is going to be difficult. You're going to have to play all the tough Western Conference teams in the first third of the season. But you get through that, and you somehow walk out with a 500 or above record, the rest of the season is going to be more of a breeze. Kirchen and this Philadelphia Union team have a lot of work to do. They got to figure out what's going to work best for this team. They're going to figure that out in the first half of the season, in the first part of the season, where the matches are tough. It's going to really test and challenge these players, but it's going to be for the best, guys. You guys know me, Posidelphia all day. There's no need to get down on this Philadelphia Union team. It's the first match. We weren't going to go undefeated, and you lost to a solid Western Conference foe, a place where we have never won in our franchise's history. Things do need to change, absolutely. I am all for that, but let's take it easy when we're killing our own team here, guys. So after the first match, my mood is disappointed, but I'm hopeful because it's still early, and this is still a good team with solid players and a good manager on our hands, guys. All right, guys, we got a lot in store for you guys for this week from us at PSN. Of course, stay up to date with all our articles we're going to be putting out from Tim Lovinguth, from Matt McClain, and Jeff Green, of course, putting out some great stuff. Guys, keep sending in those questions and comments, feedback for DOOP by the River. We are your people's podcast. We are your people's network. This is for you guys. We've got some more fun stuff so you guys can feel as if you are part of the action. So stay tuned to that. We got good stuff coming for you guys. This week's episode of the podcast is going to be fun. Of course, we got LAFC next week, Saturday night. I got a special guest on for that match as well, so stay tuned to that. All right, final score, Philadelphia Union lose their first match of the season 2-0 to FC Dallas, and we are on to LAFC. Guys, that's all I got for you today on DOOP by the River, but of course, any comments below. You guys want to vent, you want to tell me how you feel, you think I am wrong, which a lot of people do think I am. It is all good. Let me know in the comments below. I want to hear you vent. And of course, guys, thank you so much for tuning in. But of course, we are trying to continue growing at Parcero Philly here in Philadelphia. Help me out by liking this video, subscribing to this channel, hitting the bell button for notifications, as well as sharing this video and this channel to help me grow. And until next time, I'm the Bettles. DOOP on. Talk to you soon.